Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name's Matt. We're back with another Borderlands video, and today's topic will be who is the stronger commando, Roland or Axton? So first off, I want to lay out the ways we're going to look into these two characters. So the categories will be how they play without their turrets, the strength of their turrets, some of their history, and some stuff that I'll throw in there periodically that I see fit. So we're going to start off with the turrets, and we're going to highlight Roland's turret first. So the Scorpio turret had a limited range and wasn't able to fire in all directions, meaning 360 degrees. Roland's turret could basically deal with things in front of it. Now, Roland's turret was also much more durable than Axton's turret because the thing very rarely was destroyed before the turret skill ended. And it's pretty safe to say that the turret was more geared, towards a support role than a damage role just due to the limitations that it had. So when we look into Roland's skill trees, we can see quite a few skills that yield positive effects for his turret. So the first one I want to look into is called Aid Station, and this can regenerate 5% of a player's health per second if they stay within the Scorpio's area of effect. He also has the Revival skill, which when maxed out gives the turret a 70% chance of instantly reviving a nearby ally when deployed. Sentry, which when maxed out gives the turret 35% more damage output. Guided Missile adds the ability for the Scorpio turret to fire both bullets and guided missiles. The Stockpile skill, when maxed out, allows the turret to regenerate 5 of the type of ammo needed for the weapon currently being wielded by the Vault Hunter. But the better skill for this is Supply Drop, which when maxed out can fire out 6 supply drops every 3 seconds, and Supply Drop will refill your grenades, which Stockpile will not do. So overall, we're looking at a turret that is very useful when playing with friends for support. It can heal your friends, it can give out ammo to your friends, and it can even sometimes have a chance of reviving your friends. So that's where the turret's strengths really lie. So let's move on to Axton's turret now. So Axton's turret is far better at killing your enemies, and this is due to the fact that it has better range and can fire 360 degrees where Roland's turret cannot. Now, I could just hit you with the Axton's turret is better because he can get 2 and Roland can only have 1, so end of discussion. But let's actually look into this. So each of the 3 skill trees that Axton has all contain very useful final skills for his turret depending on what you're looking for. But the Gorilla tree has a skill called Double Up, which allows for a second gun to be added to the Saber turret that fires slag bullets. The Gunpowder tree has a skill called Nuke that allows for a small nuclear blast to be set off when the turret is deployed. And the Survival skill tree has a skill that is called Gemini that allows Axton to deploy a second Saber turret. All 3 of those add up to a lot more damage output for Axton. The Saber turret can also benefit from the Sentry skill, which can increase the amount of rounds fired and how long the turret stays deployed. Laser Sight increases turret accuracy. Scorch Earth, which allows the turret to fire rockets. Longbow turret, which allows for a farther turret deploy range and 110% more health for the Saber. Phalanx Shield, which protects your turret from incoming damage. And finally, the Maglock skill, which allows you to deploy your turret on walls and ceilings. So as you can see, Axton has a lot more skills than Roland for his turret and a lot more for the longevity of the Saber turret as well. Yet Roland's Scorpio is still far more durable than Axton's. Now this could have just been a balancing thing between the games, but that's just how it is. Now for which one is better? I'm going to have to give this one to Axton because if you're putting out that much hurt and you can also chill inside your shield, then you won't be as subject to, need medical aid. I'm not saying that a good defense isn't important, but there's a reason why Axton's turret can be a mini nuke and Roland's got, a medic tree and a support tree in his skills. Roland's Scorpio turret isn't focused on offense, but instead support, and it's absolutely fantastic at it. But Axton's turret just can do too much, and I think the major issue for the Scorpio turret is really the fact that it just doesn't have enough range. It doesn't shoot far enough, and it can only shoot what's in front of it. That's a huge downside, and that's really one of the main reasons why the saber has to take the cake. So now we'll move on to how each of these guys stack up without their turrets, which means we'll be looking into their skills associated with their overall playstyle, free from their turrets. Again, we'll start off with Roland because he's got a very valuable skill called Cauterize, which when maxed out can convert 30% of the damage shot at your ally into health. Another awesome skill is Stat, which when maxed out can regenerate 5% of your total health and your allies' total health for a few seconds after every kill. So think about when you're fighting a bunch of different enemies. Let's say you're getting swarmed by skags or spider ants or there's bandits everywhere. The more hurt you're putting out, the more kills you're putting down range, the more health that's going to be regenerated for you and your allies. He also has a skill that contributes towards regenerating grenades after killing an enemy too. Now for the skills that make guns better, he has Scatter Shot, which decreases the spread and ups the damage for all shotguns. He has an Assault skill, which reduces recoil and ups damage for all combat rifles, and Impact, which ups bullet damage. Now many of his skills are oriented for regeneration and reducing cooldowns for his Scorpio turret, which bodes very well for his survivability. So now we'll move on to Axton, and his strengths lie with the damage that he can put out with guns and grenades. These next skills all boost gun damage. So first up is Impact, which can raise his gun damage by 20%, Crisis Management, which can up his gun damage by 35%, Duty Calls, which can up his gun damage by 25%, and Ranger, which can up his gun damage by 5%. Now, all of these skills also can affect reload speed, crits, accuracy, melee damage, and even mag size. These are extremely useful and, you can really start to devastate enemies once Axton gets a hold of guns that are already strong before all of these skill buffs. There's a reason why many people say the assault rifles are underpowered in Borderlands 2, except on Axton, and that's due to these skills. He also does really well with grenades due to certain builds allowing him to carry just over 20 grenades. So, at the end of the day, Axton can put out the hurt and Roland can power through the hurt, which makes it a really hard decision as to who is stronger. But again, I'm going to have to give this to Axton based on his ability to put out massive gun damage and grenade damage, which really couples very well with his offensive-based turret. So finally, we'll move on to the history and the story with these characters. They're both soldiers, and we can point out the fact that Axton was able to kill Wilhelm and Roland wasn't. Yes, Wilhelm was weaker due to being poisoned by Jack, but this won't be my focus. Axton is the stronger soldier, but you cannot underestimate Roland due to his, leadership qualities. Roland formed the Crimson Raiders after the collapse of the Crimson Lance on Pandora, and then, being very proactive, he led the fight against Hyperion and Jack. The original Vault Hunters respect him, and he was responsible for the decision-making and the safety of the Resistance as a whole. Regardless of what Vault Hunter killed Jack and what Vault Hunter ended the Warrior, Roland was the one who was on the forefront taking the battle to Jack that ultimately cost him his life. Roland absolutely wins in this regard. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, Axton is the stronger Commando, but just like in my Lilith and Maya video, that doesn't make one of them weak. They're both strong, just one is stronger. Now, Roland's build is more tailored to being a support character, which absolutely has its merits and can be strong in its own right, but the whole point of the video is to decide who is stronger individually, and that has to go to Axton because he is designed from the ground up to be the one putting the hurt on the enemies. So, I will leave you with this. Let me know if you agree. If not, tell me why. And if you agree with the decision, but you think the order should have been different, like maybe Roland's turret's better than Axton's, or you think Roland's better than Axton, whatever, drop a comment and we'll discuss. If you guys like this sort of thing, leave a like. And if you guys like Borderlands, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys very soon in another video. Later.